Hello everyone, my name is Nathan and today it's time for another episode of City Skylines in our 2021 series. In the previous episode we fixed some stuff, we expanded some areas. We also took care of these little islands. I might actually end up putting the Statue of Liberty all the way over here on this island, which would be much more fitting, but we're gonna wait with that until we expand in that direction. What I much rather would like to do today is go into another industry, namely the oil industry. This one is going to be interesting because half of it is on land and half of it is in water. So I would say without any further ado, let's go ahead, unlock this tile, and should we do the other one right away? Actually, we can get started this way. Through the middle of the industry, I would like to have a main road, something like that. And then this one here we're gonna kind of make generic. Maybe let's first have a look into the buildings. What can we do? There is the oil. We are starting with the main building that I believe I can place right here. This doesn't necessarily have to be on the natural resource. So there's gonna be the main building, and now we should be able to expand the area. Small pump, an oil sludge plant, and an oil tank is what we currently have available. Let's go ahead and get things started right here. We also would like to go ahead and make this industry area much bigger. So all of this is going to be covered, and probably also everything up to the beach and beyond. We'll see. I'm going to leave a couple of spaces free after the intersection, and then we're going to start with our oil rigs. Let's go ahead and do about 10 of them. Actually thinking about this, I would like the storages to be here, and then these guys can go to the next road. So we're going to move them all over just like that. Let's place the storage right here for now, and then we're gonna make another parallel road. Wait a second, I believe it makes more sense if we have the storage buildings right there. And then almost outside of the oil area, we're then gonna have some processing buildings. Let's do 2 sludge presses for now. Already hooked them up to power. Let's just get the water in the joint as well. We also need a way to actually get into the district. I'm gonna make this easy on myself for now. Obviously, this is not the permanent solution. I just want it to function. Okay, with that out of the way, I believe we can already unpause, and then obviously we'll have to add more buildings. To make this upgrade, we're gonna need a lot more worker, and obviously we also need to process some stuff. So we just shipped our first load of oil into the storage. As soon as we have above 50%, it should be brought over to the factories, of course. There it is, another truckload. This is slowly and gradually filling up. Now that we are above 50%, there we go. Some of them are actually going to sell, probably. And then others we want to convert to petroleum. There we go. We had our first load, and now the sludge plant is going for it as well. I think at this point I need a little bit more commercial, so I believe what I'm gonna do is mark out this area to be commercial, and then the rest around it we're gonna build up with offices. As a matter of fact, right here I would like to see a pathway. It makes more sense to me. So maybe we move through here and there and there. Come on. And just have one more branch over yonder. Wonderful. This might help with my industry abandonment problem right now. Oh, actually we already have enough workers, so we're just waiting for the produce. There we go. Reached level 2. A whole bunch of stuff unlocked. This is good. Good stuff. The worker barracks. Gonna be very important. I'm actually gonna make a separate road for them. A normal one. Actually, I'm gonna give them a gravel road for some reason. So let's move this over here, and then I'm gonna do something like that. I just think that's gonna look nifty. And then we can go ahead and set up a whole bunch of barracks. Now, how many percentages do we benefit? Work efficiency 5% up to maximum of 100%. So 20 buildings. Jeez, this is always way too many. I'm gonna get myself started with 5 worker barracks, and that's gonna have to do the trick for now. We then have access to the small oil drilling rig, which is supposedly much better than this one. So I'm gonna set this up on the other side. Let's also do 5. We then have access to the petrochemical plant, which I believe is something similar to the ones we already have. Let's set up 2 of them right there. Actually, let me check. Now, this is producing plastics, so not quite the same. Next up, looks like we have another type of storage building. Sure, gonna add that there. And we also got a custom fence. Intriguing, but that was all the new buildings we had so far. Yeah, wonderful. They're really going for it. How much until the next level? Not that much. We're over a third there. Let's maybe have a look into the policies, and I believe we want to activate all of them in order to make everything more efficient and ideal for the workers. As long as you can afford the policies in the beginning, I believe industry policies can be chosen blindly. Yeah, this is now going real quick, and we also already have the space for plenty of workers. Maybe we can expand our living area a little bit. For instance, all of this I would like to be some housing. I also would like to see another crematorium. I'm just gonna place this there. But more importantly, a clinic should also be nearby. Let's actually get this near the train station, right there. Okay, they can now go for it. We're gonna be getting a whole bunch more people in the joint, and they can then take over the jobs right here. As a matter of fact, we only need like 10 more people, and we reach the next level in no time. Also looks like we got some area bonuses of -10 pollution, not too shabby. And there we go, we actually just reached the milestone. Now we have access to the large pump, a toy factory, and an oil industry storage. The large oil pump looks as follows. Let's actually see how much this is producing. 8,000 units per week, and what about you? 7,000 units a week, so it's not even that much more, but it is using much more space. What is the catch here? Even the pollution and noise pollution is higher with the large oil pump. I don't see the advantage of using one large oil pump contrary to the small ones. It has almost double the workspaces, but then again, for this space I can set up 3 of these pumps and be much more space efficient about it. Man, I don't get it. Why should I ever go with the large pump? Anyways, we now have the oil industry storage that I'm also gonna place here. I might rearrange a couple of things once we have more buildings down. I just want to know what we have access to. And then I believe under unique factories, this is what we unlocked. No, not the furniture factory, the toy factory, for which we need the forestry industry as well as the oil industry. Also in this game you just get various options to store the same thing. That was also always confusing. You don't necessarily need all of these buildings. If you want to go for a more streamlined look, I guess you would want to choose the same buildings, or at least make it thematically fitting. Which is what I'm probably gonna do, you know, have a bunch of these storages together, a bunch of these ones. Next milestone, 4,500. We already have enough people. This is good news. But yeah, when it comes to the unique factories, you basically have all of your industries working together, and I believe I want to set this up in a separate location. So it's not going to be necessarily nearby the industries, but in a separate factory location with all the unique factories. I think I might want to get started with a more unique look here. Now, yeah, this looks like a building that would fit over here. So let's have 2 of them next to each other, and we just have to fix the terrain. Though I think I'm gonna do that in the end. We don't really have to do much, just lower this rope basically, and maybe lower this a bit. Yeah, this shouldn't be really a problem. And right here, this is something we can cover up. Yeah, much better. I like the storages to be spread out a little bit, so possibly we're gonna have some over here as well eventually. Let me actually kind of get started with this. We're gonna have 2 more storages like so, and we're gonna do the same transformation with that. So road has to go down quite a bit, and buildings have to go... Oh, did you see that truck? That was hilarious. But yeah, if we did something like that, it is not quite as ugly. We now have a better distribution of our storage. Let's also move this guy over here. We're gonna have 4 of them next to each other. And then the tanks right here, I'm gonna be moving somewhere over there once we get to it. How many products? Ooh, actually just 1,000 more for the next level. Yeah, traffic-wise, this is much better because now all of these oil rigs are storing their produce on the same road. That makes a lot more sense to me now. The oil industry, in my opinion, is one of the hardest to actually make profitable. I just haven't really figured out the best strategy. I assume at the moment I just don't have enough factories to sell produce. That might be the reason. But there we go, next level reached. We now have access to the large oil rig. There's a maintenance building, another oil storage building, and the petroleum refinery. Yes. First things first, I would like to see the maintenance building. Let's place that here maybe. There, that's better. This takes care of industrial buildings, increase their utilization rate, and reduces wastage. So definitely worth it. Now we have the large oil rig, which is, well, larger than the previous one. Let's have 3 of them like so. It might actually be a mistake to have them all close to each other when it comes to traffic, but thankfully everything is modular in this game and we'll figure out a good balance. Let me actually move this storage building now over here. Do I have the space for another one of these? The oil pumps would definitely be in the way, but since they are so small, why not just have them here adjacent to the road? I mean, they barely take up any space. and this would actually allow me to have another storage building like so. I like this. I added 2 more moist oil refinement plants, but let's check out the large storage. Yeah, this is pretty darn large. Intriguing. So let me put one of them over here, just so that I don't forget about it eventually. Oh wait, these are actually 2 different buildings. Intriguing. This one is called oil sludge pyrolysis plant, and this one is the waste oil refining plant, but they are both producing petroleum, so this is just mildly confusing. Once again, we already have enough workers for the next level. We're just waiting for the produce. Interesting. So it's actually fairly easy to level this industry up. And voila, now that we actually got the production going and everything, we are also making an enormous amount of profit. This is our most profitable business right now. Not too shabby, I have to say. So it's just initially where you lose a little bit of income and then you make it back tenfold. We're currently sitting at a chill 21 million in the bank. Okay, so at this point, it's probably not worth expanding the oil industry any longer until we have more people in the city. I mean, right now it looks a little bit pathetic compared to, let's say, the forestry industry. But yeah, we're already now struggling a little bit with selling the produce. Right now, actually, are we exporting it? Totally forgot where I can look this up. Never mind. Let's maybe add more workers' barracks. Oops, what happened here? This, of course, also belongs to the area. And then let's add 1, 2, 3, 4 more. This brings up our efficiency to 62% and pollution minus 30%. Pretty good, though the weekly profits are down. No, never mind, they are up again. Love it. So soon enough, we'll have reached the last milestone and therefore also the last buildings. Now, from my experience, the oil industry is exporting a lot. Maybe a cargo station or even a cargo airport would do this region wonders. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I might actually go with the airport here. Have we unlocked everything? No, cargo airport actually requires 60,000 people. Wow, what is the next milestone? Also 60,000. Okay, no problem. We just have to grow our city. How are you guys doing? Ah, you are not eagerly upgrading. Actually, yeah, educate more citizens. They just have the standard problem. Yeah, looks like at the moment we're producing slightly too much oil. All of our storages are completely full. Yeah, let me just add more storages, you know. Gonna add 2 more like so. And then 1 of these right there. How much can they store even? 400 barrels. These guys can store 500 barrels. This guy can store 300. And then the large one here can store 600. Nice. Now, the biggest problem about this setup is it's not very wise when it comes to traffic because of all the intersections, and that is something I'm gonna spice up. For instance, what we can do, get rid of this road, and we're gonna expand the road again, but not quite connect it, and then we're gonna establish a connection right here. So now we have half the amount of intersections we have going on here. We're gonna do the exact same thing over here. So this one here should be connected, and then we are just dragging this until it doesn't quite connect. As a matter of fact, let me move this even closer, so maybe people can even walk over. I'm not sure if it works like this. But yeah, as we can see, the traffic immediately improves when doing this, since people don't have to wait for each other anymore. How far are we? Ooh, actually almost done. Yep, just a minute or so and we'll have reached the last level. We still have the problem we currently cannot sell the produce. Maybe it would be worth it to set up the unique factory just for that. Like, we're gonna try to find something with petroleum and plastics. I mean, look at this monstrosity. I just want to know metals. Okay, so we don't have an ore industry just yet. But here we are. We got access to the offshore drilling platform, the naphtha cracker plant, and a sneaker factory, which is probably also a unique factory. Actually, let's see. Yeah, sneaker requires petroleum, plastics, some agricultural products, and paper. You see, these factories are complex. But yeah, now we have access to everything, including the offshore drilling platform. Now, if we check out the natural resources here, yeah, we definitely have some possibilities to make this work. But we are outside the city limits. Now, I do want to set this up desperately, so we're gonna purchase this. Oh man, now we have to reach the next milestone. This could have been a mistake, since I don't really have that much space to expand anymore. Let's just forget about past mistakes and move on. First things first, expanding the industry area. This is a rather large one. Then we have to place this here somewhere. I want to see the resources again. Like, does it matter a lot? Or as soon as I place it, it's just gonna produce whatever? Oh well, I guess we'll see. I'm just gonna set up one here and then let's do another one. So do we? I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely not the most beautiful industry in the game, but we're gonna make the best out of it. I also removed all the traffic lights. We should be good on that end as well. And now obviously you need some water and everything. Actually, our water demand should have gone through the roof with this new industry. And obviously everything needs a little bit of power. There we go. Okay, let's unpause again. Obviously this is ugly and not my final version, but a lot about this industry is very hard to do in my opinion, since you get so much produce with so few buildings. Let's maybe get into storages again. I'm gonna set up another storage building here. Actually, let me do it right adjacent to the first one. I'm gonna have 2 more small storages here as well. And then, yeah, as long as we're not selling the produce, I don't think it's worth setting up more drills. But it might be worth it setting up the unique factories. As mentioned, I want them all in one place, so we'll have to think about a location for the unique factories. Over here, maybe there's gonna be some more living space. And then right here, theoretically, we could set up a factory area. How are we doing with power? Yeah, soon enough we're gonna need more power. Do we want to switch from advanced wind turbines? It might be time. Like, we have access to the geothermal power plant. I always liked that, but more powerful would be the solar updraft tower. Currently, we are making well over 20k a week, so that would definitely be something we can afford, and I believe I'm just gonna do that. This is not the final location of this plant. I would like to set up a separate area for these plants and have a huge field of solar arrays, for instance. But yeah, check this out. We now have plenty of power available to us once again. It might even be worth getting rid of these wind turbines. I mean, they're costing me a couple of $1,000s a week. But yeah, here we go. We're currently sitting at a cool profit of 11,000 a week, 70% efficiency bonus, 40% pollution bonus. We are making way more than enough produce. Not enough water. What are you talking about? Ah, okay. These guys always complaining. I just don't get it. If we check out the forestry industry, it's also profitable, but at a much lower income. Pretty nifty, I like it. The most challenging part is going to be to actually make this industry look a little bit more appealing. I mean, in due time we can have more buildings, but for that we definitely need to grow the city first. Get that population up to at least 60,000. Cargo airport is gonna come here, and overall we will be modeling this area. I mean, there is so much oil to be gathered here. It's not even that funny. Yeah, so much space for the oil rigs. This is ridiculous. I like it. I'm taking it. Yeah, look at that. Now we're even making 14,000 with this industry. 35,000 at the moment making profits with my city. I love it. Good, that means over the next few episodes we will be adding to this industry as much as possible. I would like this to look awesome. Right now it doesn't look awesome, it is just functional. I'm glad we got to this point, but there's much to do. Cool, I would say with that out of the way, we're gonna wrap it up for today. I'm gonna be trying to record these episodes more frequently. Maybe there's gonna be less content in one episode, but that depends a little bit on you. Would you rather have more content and wait for longer, or have less content and get those episodes more frequently? But yeah, with that out of the way, thank you so much for watching, have a great time, and hopefully I'm gonna catch you in the next one. Bye bye.